Welcome aboard Bolette, the flagship of Fred Olsen Cruise Lines. For those of you familiar with maritime history, you might recognise this ship's lineage. Entering service in the year 2000 as Holland America's Amsterdam, this lovely vessel found a new chapter in her story when acquired by Fred Olsen during the unprecedented times of the pandemic. Following a thoughtful refit, she was reborn as Bolette, and alongside her sister, Borealis, the former Rotterdam, she has played a vital role in revitalising the distinguished Fred Olsen fleet. My name is Chris Frame, and I have had the pleasure of touring Bolette recently as a guest of Fred Olsen Cruises, and she boasts a number of delightful features that are increasingly rare on the contemporary cruise scene. So join me as we step aboard and explore the unique charm of Bolette. Our tour commences here on Promenade deck, a space immediately notable for its traditional wraparound teak wood boat deck. Regular viewers will know of my fondness for a proper boat deck, and Bolette certainly delivers in this regard. Stepping inside the vessel, one is immediately struck by the very distinctive Fred Olsen-style carpeting, a hallmark of the refurbishment that brought Bolette into her current identity. An elegant spiral stairway invites us to ascend to main deck. From this vantage point, you'll gain an excellent perspective of the fascinating atrium clock tower, a true centerpiece that marks the passage of time with hourly chimes. The interactive mechanical cogs and wheels are clearly visible, and the clock itself features 4 distinct faces: an astrolabe, a world clock, a planetary clock, and an astrological clock. Moving on to main deck itself, and we find essential passenger services conveniently located. Here reside guest services, as well as the destination services area for those wishing to explore the ports of call through shore excursions. Additionally, a traditional photo gallery is present, showcasing and offering for sale the photographic memories captured by the ship's onboard photographers. Venturing forward on main deck, we arrive in the Neptune Lounge, situated at the very bow of the ship. Spanning 2 decks in height, this impressive space evokes in me a slight reminiscence of the Royal Court Theatre aboard Queen Mary II, particularly in its stage design and decorative elements. I'd be interested to hear from anyone who's travelled on both ships if you also see these similarities. The Neptune Lounge offers excellent sightlines from most of its seating and features a substantial stage, complete with a rotating platform for elaborate production shows. Continuing our exploration of main deck and moving aft of the atrium, we encounter the auditorium, the ship's dedicated cinema. I find it particularly appealing when older vessels retain a separate cinema space, as it allows for the enjoyment of films without occupying the main show lounge, which can then remain dedicated to production shows or indeed informative lectures. Speaking of which, I'd love to lecture on board the ship and have reached out to Fred Olsen to see if I can make it happen. Watch this space. Nearby we find the Colours and Tastes restaurant, offering a delightful Asian-inspired menu, enhanced by more subdued lighting and a rather dramatic entryway adorned by statues lining the bulkheads. Navigating the ship is facilitated by 3 distinct elevator banks and stairways, forwards, midships, and aft. Interestingly, some of these feature elevator call buttons integrated into digital screens. If we now make our way up to lounge deck and proceed aft, we gain convenient access to the upper level of the Terrace restaurant. This main dining venue features a significant open well in the centre, allowing for a bright and airy feel, and provides views down to the lower level. This is the Bolette's main dining room, and just like many of the modern day cruise ships that you might have travelled on, it's positioned at the aft of the ship, so it spans over 2 levels and has views over the aft, so you can have a look at the wake as the ship's making its way from port to port. But what's really interesting here is they also have a stage area where they can have live music right in the dining room. Now continuing our exploration of lounge deck and proceeding aft of the Terrace restaurant, those wishing for a more intimate dining experience will find 2 annexes, the Orchid Room and the Australia Room. These smaller spaces offer a more secluded atmosphere and are tastefully decorated with selections from Fred Olsen's hand-picked artwork collection, adding a touch of elegance to the dining experience. Moving further along lounge deck, and we encounter a recent addition to the ship, the Earth Room, introduced in 2023. This thoughtfully designed space serves as a library, offering a selection of books and, importantly, educational resources for those of us keen to learn more about our planet and the interactive workings of the world around us. Just forward of the Earth Room, situated on the port side, we find the charming Bookmark Cafe and Lounge. I took a moment to look at their bookshelves, and while I didn't happen to spot our own humble contribution, the evolution of the passenger ship, which is a comprehensive journey through the history of these magnificent vessels from the age of sail to modern marvels like Bolette, perhaps Fred Olsen Jr. himself might be watching and consider adding a copy for his discerning passengers. I think they'd find it captivating if I do say so myself. Crossing over to the starboard side of lounge deck, and we arrive at the Oriental Tea Room. This proved to be a particularly pleasant location for a traditional morning tea during my tour, offering a tempting array of cakes and sandwiches. And for those who, like me, are perhaps more inclined towards a good coffee, they even had barista-prepared options available. Adjoining the tea room is a tranquil botanical room, a peaceful haven designed with a distinct garden theme. This proved to be a popular space for travellers to relax, observe the comings and goings of our tour, and watch the activities of other vessels in the port through its large windows, a great spot to unwind. Moving amidships on this deck, we discover the intimate piano bar. The focal point of this space is undoubtedly a baby grand piano, promising evenings of delightful melodies. The bar itself exudes a cosy and inviting atmosphere, cleverly spilling out into the adjacent promenade area, creating a more expansive and welcoming feel. Boutique shops line the starboard side of lounge deck, leading us forward to the forward end of the Morning Light pub and lounge. This inviting space is named after one of Fred Olsen's early sailing ships, a fitting tribute when one considers the remarkable heritage of this company. It might surprise some to learn that Fred Olsen's history stretches all the way back to the 19th century, having been founded in 1848. This makes the line one of the oldest still operating today, and they have clearly embraced and celebrate their rich history. I absolutely love how Fred Olsen leans into its maritime history and its long connection with taking people on land voyages across the oceans, and that is very evident on board Bolette. I mean, just check out the maritime history that you can see here on board the ship. There are pictures of the former Fred Olsen ships from this history throughout the vessel, including these stained glass pictures, as well as framed paintings and plenty of model ships around the place as well. It's really spectacular. Adding another touch of classic shipboard elegance, Bolette features an onboard florist, where passengers can purchase flowers for loved ones, a charming tradition that harks back to the golden age of ocean travel. This can be found near the upper level of the atrium, conveniently located close to the future cruise office. The go-to place for all onboard inquiries relating to your next voyage with Fred Olsen. Ride the way forward and you're back in the Neptune Lounge, on the balcony area. So, with so many bars and lounges, you can see why this is called Lounge Deck. Let's head up to Lido Deck, but on the way we'll check out some of the accommodation. Bolette has a variety of accommodation across multiple categories. We saw ocean view rooms, with the cabins on Marina Deck at the very bottom of the ship looking the more spacious of the examples we saw. We also checked out balcony cabins, and one that had a big balcony that I'm sure would impress most travellers. So one of the things I really noticed about this ship, being an older ship, is it has a really deep balcony, which gives you plenty of space to stand or sit outside and watch the world go by. The ship also has a selection of accessible rooms, like this one, with a wider entry door and an accessible bathroom. The cabins are a mix, with some areas updated and some harking back to the Holland America days, and you'll find accommodation across Bridge Deck, Highland Deck, Promenade Deck, Coral Deck and Marina Deck. But of all of them, Highland Deck is perhaps the most interesting, as it has an observation area at the very forward end with amazing views over the bow. Lido Deck is where you'll enjoy swimming. There's a pool at the aft and a view over the stern. It has plenty of deck chairs and its own bar. The pool also has a sculpture which makes it a bit different from most cruise ships. The View Buffet restaurant occupies the full width of Lido Deck and features a variety of cuisines that can be accessed via multiple buffet areas. Huge windows offer a great view, hence the name. On the starboard side, near the amidships lifts, the Vasco restaurant is a small dining area that serves an Indian-inspired cuisine. The Lido bar and pool are found under a large glass retractable roof called a magradome. The pool is a good size, and there are 2 whirlpools here too. Having the magradome means that this area is usable in all weather conditions. You can also find the poolside cafe here on the starboard side. The forward of this deck is occupied by the Atlantis Spa facility and the gymnasium. The spa has a number of treatment rooms, whilst the gym has epic views over the bow. This area was expanded by Holland America several years ago, adding the giant windows at the forward end, which altered the shape of the ship's profile a bit. One deck up and sports deck features the observatory, the ship's observation lounge. Heaps of comfortable seating is intermingled with maritime heritage, and there's a central bar with amazing views. Head out on deck and past the Magrodome to reach the sports courts. Given the heritage of the ship, the question of what does Fred Olsen do with an extensive kids club area on a ship aimed at adults is answered by converting Holland America's teen and kids facilities into the Olsen Arts Studio, where art classes replace video arcade games. And finally, Sundeck at the very top of the ship is home to sunbathing, though not recommended for long periods when the ship is in Australian waters, at least not without buckets of sun cream. I hope you found this tour of Bolette interesting. If you were wondering, the ship is named after the wife of one of the original brothers who founded the line, meaning that even the name of the ship is steeped in history. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, sending out a huge thanks to our channel members who help make these videos possible. Thanks once again for watching, and until next time, I hope to see you on board.